day to you. Today, the Lord's vision came to us from Matthew chapter 18, and the vision was about that we are not to help indict other people. And the scenario was that a fiscal officer was collecting data to file action, so to say, a court case, a charge sheet against God's people. And this fiscal officer was approaching others of God's children to collect evidence. And unwisely, God's people began a grumble, began saying different things about their own. And the fiscal officer was doing searching for evidence to indict God's people from the mouth of others of God's people. And unadvisedly, this person was opening his spirit to be examined by this fiscal officer to collect data against God's own. And in the process, he was exposing his spirit, his memory. And the fiscal officer was also indicting the supplier of information while he was collecting information about the other person. So it's an evil mystery, iniquity, how you take indictment from one and indict the other. So it may be from father to son, it may be against husband to wife, and this process, he is approaching people at this time. So what we need to do is we shut up our insights to such probing, such iniquitous lines of inquiry. We say, no way, I'm not going to give information against my own. It may be about a minister, about another minister, giving information. It's all in the spiritual realm, it's all in the mental process that evil data is being extracted because we think evil of other people. We make court cases, indictments, charge sheets, and the fiscal officer says, some more, give me some more evidence. And it's like a hacker getting inside a computer, and this hacker gets inside you and begins to enter your life also, asking for different information, extracting details of your life. Because in our life, we have hours of iniquity, misdeeds, all under the blood. But when we open ourselves to others, open our insights about other people's wrongs, we are exposing ourselves to our own wrongs, because wrongs are under the blood of Jesus Christ. Neville. Wrongs are under the blood of Jesus Christ, so when we want to take information about other people, our own information comes out, and this fiscal officer from the dark realm writes cases against us also, and he revisits those incidents, disqualifies us, brings dark moments, temptations, just the way a hacker gets inside a computer and a system. So the Lord said, this very thing that is being used for evil, I will turn it for good. And what you need to do is confess your sin to the Lord under the blood of Jesus. 1 Corinthians 11:31. But if we judge ourselves rightly, we would not be judged. But when we are judged, we are disciplined by the Lord, so that we will not be condemned along with the world. So we bring those memories, old moments, from different houses of influence that we have been living. Neville to call that. We have been living, and then we, from our mother's womb, from our father's side, from our mother's side, things that have come into our life, then our own iniquities, things that have been said against us, in our education, house of education, school we went to, early incidents, those who had influence over us, our race, then the work field we have been in, so that different liens, the wrong moments that are recorded, which should have gone under the blood of Jesus Christ, and the Lord has forgiven. In the process of we agree with the enemy on other people, our own insides are also laid open for attack, for use against us, for infiltration. We must cover it all with the blood of Jesus Christ, and we say those moments are under the blood of Jesus Christ, and the flaming fire of God comes on it and keeps us protected. The next phenomenon I saw was a fake medal is being offered, getting distracted, running races God didn't ask us, heroic projects that were not of the Lord, whereas the Lord has His medal of honor, His goal for us. When we run the race, keep the faith, fight the good fight of faith. Run the race, keep the faith, fight the good fight of faith. The Lord has His own medal, but we have been shown a fake medal, fake projects, distractions, and many Christians get onto these distractions for limited worldly glory. But the Lord has real glory for us, His best for us. We must not fall a prey to other projects. Third proposition I want to bring before you is that this issue of the moment the sexual change or the wrong sex idea comes in, it may be a sexual door that we open. Also, I find in the digital screen there's a drive of dopamine. At the age of 8, girls and boys begin to recognize each other, so we must take care about them when they are turning 8. Even siblings in the same family, not leave them alone, be careful of dangerous experiments they try on each other. And at a time like this, it is also the fact that the digital screen is so dopamine driven. There are normal hormones, the male hormone, testosterone, sexual hormone, estrogen, may get inhibited because it's on a constant dopamine, cortisol, adrenaline drive with fast games and so on. So there's a neurochemical change in the brain that works against proper sexual change and sexual identity that hormones engender, hormones mediate. Secondly, so much on the digital screen, they don't get a chance with each other to associate and know what a feminine nature is, what a masculine nature is, have dignity for each other, value for each other's nature. This is also going on. So lack of interaction with each other as girl and boy, getting sexually confused. Then of course the agenda-driven attitude, LGBTQ attitude that's constantly through media and through the digital screen, because many cartoon figures are looking asexual. You can't say girl or boy. And this is all the time being driven in. So many boys may be thinking biologically I was female, some things we are psychologically male, and so the agenda is driven all the time. Quite a bit of it is propelled by the digital medium. I hope to do a more deep talk on this, just the way I do on the digital screen. So hang on, I'm collecting evidence, collecting research material. Meanwhile, you can read Professor Paul Matthews. He's the Professor Emeritus Psychiatry in Johns Hopkins, who have done much work on this, and he categorically states that gay is not in the genes, but gay is a choice. We need to take care of our young people. So remember, don't agree with the accuser who comes accusing, even in the sexual area, diffusing, confusing, blurring boundaries. We must give ourselves to obedience in Jesus Christ. God bless you and God keep you.